You are so critical to this entire matter and we all salute your contribution. Why are you so confident that the ASI report will reveal that there is a Hindu temple under the Gyanvapi mosque?
They get truth is always truth. And it is a true fact that it was constructed after demolishing Hindu structure, Hindu temple. And the western wall, very clear, that is more than 1000 years old. We are confident that there are certain artifacts which have been discovered by SI. Their age is too ancient. The Shilalekh has also been found, which will establish that the Aurangzeb had passed an order to demolish the temple and construct the mosque. Everything will be clear. And I am sure that the SI will give correct and honest report. Therefore, these correct facts will certainly come out and before the court.
Now,
because the fact is there.
I was going
it's not
over...
question of belief. A question of historical fact which existing at the place in question.
Okay. Mr. Jain, I have been going over the Allahabad High Court judgment in a previous iteration. And what I discovered was that the High Court said very clearly that the Waqf was not constituted on the land to build the mosque. How did the court conclude this, Mr. Jain?
Yes, that is very true. Because the Waqf can be created only on the land of which Waqif is the owner.
Okay.
And if Waqif is not the owner, you can't establish any mosque. And in this case, there is no evidence, there is no document to prove that any Waqf was ever created and the land was dedicated to Almighty. There is nothing on record. And they are not able to file any document up till now to contend that the land in question was dedicated to Almighty.
So there is
Therefore, no Waqf was created.
Okay.
And it is very clear from the record itself.
So there is no document to attest to this fact. Now, if that is the case, if a Waqf was not formed, then would it be fair to say that the structure is not a mosque at all? Can this be inferred, sir?
It is a condition precedent. Under Islamic law, this is a condition precedent that for a mosque, Waqf should be there. And mosque can be constructed only on Waqf land. No Maulvi or Islamic scholar can refute this fact and this Islamic law that mosque can always be constructed over a Waqf property. And for construction of mosque, the Waqf should be the owner. He must dedicate it to the Almighty. Only then the mosque or any other religious structure can be raised at that Waqf land. It is not a Waqf land, and there is nothing. Even the Gazette notification, which they say that it is a Gazette notification, that is in respect of other land, not in regard to this land. And simply, otherwise, even simply notifying any property as a Waqf land, it will not create a Waqf. It must establish that it was a Waqf in the beginning, and dedication must be proved. In this case, dedication is not been proved, and they have no evidence for that.
Okay.
There is no deed.
No
document.
There is no deed, no document. So no one should actually have a problem hanging on to a structure. Fundamentally, I know that the Islamic scholar amongst us, Mr. Atikur Rahman, is raising his hand. I'll come to you, Mr. Rahman. That is rather the more incidental point. I'll come to that with you. But I thank you, Shankar Jain ji. Thank you very much for putting this in perspective for all our viewers. So viewers, two very critical things have been said. That there has been already a survey that has been conducted by the Advocate Commissioner that Shankar Jain is referring to. And thank you, sir, for taking the time out. Shankar Jain has said that there is enough evidence there to suggest that this is a Hindu structure, even if we weren't to take into account the historical literature that I have brought forward tonight, viewers. And secondly, no Waqf was ever formed, so there should be no problem. In fact, it appears strange that if this structure is of no real religious importance, why is it becoming such a point of contention? Anyhow, let me open that up. Thank you, Mr. Shankar Jain. Thank you for taking the time to speak with us. Let me go across to Dr. Anand Ranganathan. Dr. Ranganathan, look, we've heard Mr. Shankar Jain. He's not somebody who's going to mislead us because he said exactly this in the court of law on oath. So, where is the problem then? If this is not a consequential structure, and if it does matter so much to the Hindus, why create such a hullabaloo and stop the Hindus from?
Yeah, good evening, Rahul, and good evening to my fellow panelists. You asked, where is the problem? Well, the problem is the clash of civilizations, if I were to surmise it in one sentence. And my pranams, 1,000 pranams to Shankar Jain ji. But at the same time, my million apologies to him as well, because for the first time, if I may, I possibly pay penance later, but disagree with him because, of course, he is a lawyer and he's talked about the Waqf has not consecrated it, so there is not a mosque there. I don't care if the mosque is there or not. The temple was there. That's all I care. The temple was there. In fact, let the mosque be there. Let it be a lesson to anyone who has perpetrated and committed a historical wrong. I want the mosque to be there. Why not? We are seeking a legal recourse to correct the injustices meted out to our ancestors. And when I mean our, I mean 1.4 billion Indians, not just 1 billion Hindus. I include 250 million Muslims whose Hindu ancestors were also wronged. Washing your dirty feet at the most sacred of places for Hindus does not change Gyanvapi's religious character, Rahul. I'm sorry. It just exposes your character. If the holiest shrine of some other religion was demolished and people of another faith stomped their dirty feet on the sacred relics as they walked inside the place of worship, this country would have witnessed a civil war. But Hindus have been conditioned to take humiliation, to suffer airbrushing of history. We've seen it in the last 10 days. Even now, people don't believe that there was a magnificent temple of Hindu origin under the Babri Mosque. Even now. Rahul, remember this. You can airbrush history, but you can't airbrush a civilization. No, you can't. Aurangzeb tried to. But our ancestors foiled his plan. It is beyond any doubt. In fact, written in the most authentic biography of Aurangzeb, Masir-e Alamgiri, that in 1669, on orders of Aurangzeb, the Kashi Vishwanath temple was demolished. The Farman is also archived in Bikaner archives. What more do you want? And here is Sir Jadunath Sarkar's translation of Masir-e Alamgiri, page 52, quote, Aurangzeb, eager to establish Islam, issued orders to the governors of all provinces to demolish the schools and temples of the infidels with the utmost urgency, put down the teachings of the public practice of religion of these misbelievers, unquote. And yet, there are those who deny the Hindus their legitimate right to correct historical injustice. And I don't care about politicians or commentators. I really don't. We've reached a stage now. But the problem is principle among them are our legislature and the judiciary. To me, Rahul, one of the most barbaric legislations ever enacted in India is the 1991 Places of Worship Act. But in 2019, the Virtue Signaling Supreme Court, in its Ayodhya judgment, willfully ratified this act that obligates maintaining all religious places as they were on August 15, 1947. A legal recourse to correct historical injustice cannot be denied in a democracy. Where are we living? Is it a banana republic? The Supreme Court said the Places of Worship Act speaks to our history and to the future of the nation. Wrong, my lords. This law airbrushes our history and it destroys our future. Now,